Hi and welcome to today's class. So in today's class, I'll be taking you how to make a makeup box. So please and please, I want you to kindly help me to manage the video. The person that is supposed to do this for me is not around, so I have to hold the phone myself. But don't worry, I'll try my best to do it right. So now let's get started. So the after cutting the pattern, the next thing you have to do is to go to pick up your fabric, the fabric you'll be using for your project, and you place the pattern on it and you cut it out. So that is what I have done here. So I actually cut two pieces of my Ankara because I want the Ankara to be my lining. I want it to add more beauty to the inner of the inside of my box. So that's why I'm having two Ankara pieces here. So this will be the one, this is the lining, so that is why it is not having any interfacing, why this is the main body of my box. So that's why you can see this whitey stuff on it. That's the soft wording that I have fixed on it. So also I have my zip cloth. You know, I said if you don't have access to the zip cloth, you can use the normal zip. It's okay, it's fine. So you can go ahead and use the normal zip, but yeah, I'll be working with zip cloth, and here is my zip head. So I made my zip cloth a little bit longer, which is, I think, this is 22, I made it 23. So I'm having extra 1 inch at each side. If you take a closer look at it, I'm having extra 1 inch at each side, so that by the time I fix my zip, if I need to reduce anything, so I can do that easily. So now the next thing I'll be doing now is to insert my zip head first, or I can still wait and insert my zip cloth to the main body, but it is this side that I'll be holding the first zip. It is this side. So let's go. So yes, if you look closely, I've notched the center part of the part that I'll be holding the zip. I've notched it. So, and this is my lining here. I've also notched the center part of the side that I'll be holding the zip. So, and here is my zip cloth. So all you have to do is to bring your zip cloth. You can either start, I always love to notch my center part, so you can either start from here, and if you like, you can hold it down with an office pin and you just go ahead and you start from here. So this is, but in this case you leave ½ inch before you start. You leave ½ inch. We'll be making use of that ½ inch. So you start here. It can be half, it can be quarter of an inch, any which. So all you have to do is to sew it all the way down, like what I have. So I'll be going all the way down. So once you are done with that, this is what you'll be having. This is the main body of my bag, and this is the lining side. So the next thing I'll be doing now is to bring this to this side. That's the main part, the main panel to this side, and to top stitch it all around. So when doing it, you bring it this way. Like I was saying, when you are doing it, you have to be careful. Note that we actually leave like quarter of an inch. This is not up to ½ inch here, so because we will be using that later. So all you have to do now is to be careful of that place. Make sure you don't start your top stitching from that area, and you start your top stitching from exactly where you started sewing from, and you top stitch it. We are doing this so that it will hold the clothes. You can see what I'm doing. It will hold it down. So if you like, you can just iron it. You can just iron. Well, in this case, I'll be top stitching it all the way down. So if you take a closer look, you see that I stopped where I started stitching to here, and that's that for this side. So when you are through, this is what you should have. Remember that I had to open this up. I open it up. So if I'm bringing it together this way, this is what I'll be having here. So everything is well laid and flat. So this is what I'll be having. So let's just overlook that. So this is what I'll be having. You can go ahead and iron it. You can do that. So the next thing I'll be doing now is to open it up. This is the part where we start joining. So I'll open it up and I'll look at this side to this side. I'll open it up and bring it this way. Can you see what I just did? This side to this side. That's from point here to point here. You bring it here and you stitch. So make sure you open it up. The lining must not be together. We are going to join it separately. So you do this side and you do the same thing too for the other side. So the same quarter of our knit we left behind. And here we join this you turn it and you do the same thing too for the other side. Make sure you do not pass where the Ankara stops. That's where you stop. So this is what you should have when you are done. You can see that I've not joined the lining to it at all. So this is what you should have. So the next thing we'll be doing now is to bring this. Look at where we stopped here. We bring it up this way. So this is the aspect. You just take it up to the next place. This is how it looks normally, you can see. So all I'm just going to do is just to bring it up this way, and I'll connect it to the quarter of an inch or half inch that we left here. So that is what I'll be doing now. You just see from here and you bring it up here, from here to here. So to make it easier, I'll advise you that you place your needle first at the last stitch where we stop the first joining, and you raise your machine foot up this way and you turn it over. You don't need to lift it, just turn it to make the corner, to give it a sharp and well pointed corner, and you bring this out this way. You will need to note that this is where we are coming to. That's where we stop stitching the first the zip cloth. So we have to connect it back to this place. So once you get here, you just stop. Don't go beyond that place, because if you do, you may be stitching on your zip teeth, the zip of your zipper. I've also gone ahead and I've done the same thing for the other side of my bag. So if you understand this now, you can see that the makeup box is coming up small. It is coming up small. So now I've not joined the lining to any parts except the zip cloth. So because I want us to conceal all the seam lines very well, I want them to be well concealed. So now the next thing we'll be doing is this side. This is the side that we now hold the other side of the zip. So I'll go ahead now and place this on my sewing machine, and I'll be fixing my zip all the way around. So I will advise that you notch this part. So you remember that we have notched the center part of the zip cloth. So now this is the main panel of our bag. So now all we have to do is to bring the center part here. I've notched it. So the reason why it is good to notch is it gives you an accurate midpoint. So you know the midpoints that you are really working with. So also on my lining, I've also gone ahead, I've notched the midpoint. So I'll be bringing it on this too as well. Remember, we do this to conceal the joining, the seam, all the seam lines. That's what we are trying to get here. We are trying to conceal everything. So I'll just go ahead and I'll fix my zip. It's quite simple as that. This is a shaped box, so we have to follow the shaping that our drawing as well. Remember I said when you stop, you lift up. So let me quickly show you how it will look when you get it right. So this is it. I've finished sewing it and I've turned it. This is how it will look. Can you see? I've actually not joined the other side, but you can see that it has that box effect, that box look already. So now I just had to stop and show you so that you don't get confused. So I'll turn it back and I'll finish with my sewing now. So now what I'll do is to complete the other side, I'll bring it back to the notch area. That is where I'll be starting from. I'll bring it back here. Follow out all the threads. So you make sure you start right where you stopped here. This is it. You can put your needle, then you release your machine foot and you sew it just the same way you did the other side. So at this point you don't need to forget your lining. You pull it out, make sure it is right under it, and your fabric too. You may have to raise your machine foot and you bring the fabric too out. So don't leave anyone behind, because they need to conceal each other perfectly. So let me show you something here. In order not to make a mistake, you can just measure here what you have left. So from here where I joined, I'm having this is 1.5. so this place I'm having okay, let's say 1.6, since this is 1.5, but let's say this is 1.6. So that's not what we call it, but I'm just saying it for the sake of those that are not into fashion, that may not understand the better way of reading the tape. So I also come here and measure the same thing and stop right where now my 1.6 is, because it must be accurate. So that's where I'll stop stitching. Yeah, done. This is how it looks. Now the next thing is to turn it out, and you have to be careful. If you actually use zip cloth, make sure it doesn't open. And remember, we are yet to fix our zip head, so you have to be careful and you turn it out gently. So when you turn it out, this is how it should look. Now you can see all the corners, you can see. So let me say, if assuming we used Marco, it would have stand better than this if we used Marco, but because we are using fabric and it's soft woven, so that's why it looks kind of, it's not standing, but you can see it's still standing. So if you want to make yours like you want to sell it, I can advise you to use Marco for it. But remember, like I have said earlier, that you don't iron Marco when you are working with Marco. You don't iron it, and there's another technique entirely of using that. So now the next thing we have to do is to insert our zip head. That is the essence of this 1 inch that we have inside here. So but if you use the normal zip, you don't need to insert any zip head. Automatically your zip head would have been there, and this place will be having a factory finished edge, so you wouldn't need to do all these things that I'll be doing. But if you are using this type of zip, then you definitely need to insert a zip head. So I'll be doing it the same way we've done it earlier. I need to explain this. So this is where you open it. You don't need to turn it or just leave it. You know, this is the wrong side now, so just open it here and you pass it. Open this place and you pass your zip head all through. Then if you are using 2 zip head, then you pass one from the left and the other from the right. So I actually need to show you what I'm doing here. You can see that I push the zip body, I push it in. If you fix this way, right, this place right, there should be a little opening for you here. So I pushed it in. All I'll be doing now is to pull it from the back. So use my hand. I will use one hand to hold this one, and I'll just pull it here. I'll pull it to the middle point. So you can see I'm having my zip head here now. So now we are almost moving to almost the final piece of our bag. So what I'll be doing now is to bring this side right here. I'll turn it over and I'll join it to this side of my bag so that we can close this zip area up and open the bag. I'll do the same thing for both sides, for this side and this side, and that's the next thing we'll be doing. So I want to add to this that before you do that, you can go ahead and top stitch your zip area so that the zip won't open up. You can go ahead and top stitch that area. The moment you do that, you have secured the zip. You can top stitch it. You do that for both sides of the zip. So once you have done that, it will be easier to top stitch. Yes, to stitch this place. Remember, you stop right here. That is where you stop. And all that he is, the name that's above every other name. So as you can see, we are almost getting there. We're almost getting there. So I've joined this. You can see this side is closed now, as well as the other side. So then I can now go ahead and open my zip. There is no cause for alarm. I know I'm secure, and I've secured the zip area. You can see. So this is how it looks outside. This is how it looks. Why this is how this also looks. Don't mind me, you know I've explained my condition to you. So this is how the other side also looks. So you can see that we are almost getting there. We are almost through. This is it. You can see we are almost getting there. So now the next thing we have to do is to close the openings that we still have inside. That's the next thing we need to do now. And also let me quickly explain this, because I've also cut this down. So we need to decorate it. We don't just want it to be plain this way. So this is the strip that I've cut for the handle of my bag. So I am having I'm having length 13, yes, length 13 here by 3 inches. So I put it on fold and insert my soft wadding. This is my soft wadding to add a little weight to my fabric. So all I'll be doing now is to take it to my sewing machine. I'll sew this lace and I'll come down, and so to fix it as my handle. Also I'll be going with this one too to finish up with the remaining stitches that we have inside. So this is it. I'll just stitch it all through. Then I'll come down. So now for this, remember we have 2 openings. So all I'll do is I'll turn this to bring the other opening out. It is only one side that will be top stitch. We won't top stitch both sides. So I'll bring this out this way and I'll stitch it from each corner to the other corner. So once I'm done with that side, this is the side opening left. So all I have to do is to bring this inside this way and I'll top stitch it. So this is the side that I will be top stitching. I'll just bring it in and top stitch it. So if you've gotten everything that we have explained right to this point, this is what you should be having by now. So the next thing now, I've also worked with the handle for my bag. So the next thing now is to go ahead and fix this one on the bag. So that's the next thing we'll be doing. Also, I want to use a bow. I want it to have a bow just serve as a design, and at the front this way. So I've cut this strip which will be serving as my bow. So what I'll be doing now is to join this side and this side. I'll leave this side as the opening so I can turn it out and top stitch this side. So let's go. So I'll try my best to make this the last video, but if there is one more, you just have to manage it. So for the strip that I'll be using for the book, I'm having breadth 4.2 by length 13 inches. So I'll be putting it on fold lengthwise. So once I'm done with this side, I'll also bring this side to the other side and I'll also join it. So if you like, instead of making this one just plain, you can go ahead and embellish, do whatever you want to do. And so this is the last opening that I'm stitching. That's the last opening that I'm stitching. I got Ankara strip to use for my to use to beautify to add more beauty to my and I've also turned that stitch so that the wrong part won't be showing outside. So the next thing now is to fix it on my gloves. Come on, just sing that name. Hi, so this is the final look of the bag. This is the inside. You can see that it is so neat. So also I've joined my bow to it. This is everything. This is the handle side. This is it. So I can say, like, if you are planning to make this for sale, you can use soft wadding for the main bodies, and you use stay for the lining, so it will add more weight to the fabric, whereby to make it stand better than this. So, and you can also go ahead and you embellish it. It's anything that works for you, it's all fine. So this is it. So this is what we have. That you can see the bow at the front. You can see. So if you did everything the same way I've put you through, this is what you should be having. I had to top stitch the other side so that both sides we have this top stitching. So thank you for staying with us, and have fun making yours. I would love to see it. I would love to see you being creative about it, embellish it, do lots of things about it. So thank you very much. Take care.
Abundantly above